Most men are unaware, but every night after 60, something risky occurs while they sleep. Their body enters a fasting state, and without proper support, it begins to break down. This affects not just muscle but also the blood vessels that regulate intimacy, energy, and performance. You might wake up feeling fine, but internally, your circulation is gradually weakening. As it declines, so does your closeness, confidence, and sense of being a man. The scary part is that it happens quietly over time, and by the time you notice the signs, it's often too late. I'm Dr. Laura, a men's health expert with over 30 years of experience helping older men reclaim what time and neglect have taken away. I've seen the pain in a man's eyes when he talks about losing that spark with the woman he loves, and the hope when he finally learns the secret no one ever shared. Here's the real issue. What's robbing you of your performance and circulation isn't just aging, it's what you're missing before you go to bed. In the next few minutes, I'll show you the one critical bedtime mistake that kills blood flow, the clear signs your circulation is slipping even if you feel fine, and a simple one-spoon fix that can change everything. No prescriptions, no pressure, just real, natural recovery. And if you stay until the end, I'll even share a nightly plan that's helped countless men over 60 restore their strength, confidence, and closeness, often in less than 7 nights. Before we dive in, if you care about keeping your blood flow strong and your intimacy alive after 60, I invite you to subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss another health lesson created just for men like you. And if this message speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know how I can better support your journey to lasting strength and connection. Now that you understand what's quietly working against you each night, let's begin with the root of it all. How blood flow and intimacy start to change after 60. Because until you understand what's happening inside your body, you can't take back control of it. And what I'm about to share may explain a lot of what you've been feeling, but couldn't quite put into words. For years, I've sat across from men in their 60s and 70s, good men, proud men, who finally gathered the courage to ask the question they'd been avoiding. Why am I not the same down there anymore? It often starts gradually, a slower response, a little less sensitivity, maybe skipping a few morning erections. At first, they brush it off, stress, maybe a rough night. But over time, it becomes undeniable. Something's shifted. The answer lies in one quiet but powerful change: blood flow. After the age of 60, the vascular system begins to age in ways that directly affect male performance. The arteries that once carried blood freely to every part of your body, including the most intimate areas, begin to stiffen. The inner lining of those vessels, called the endothelium, weakens, and production of nitric oxide, the gas your body uses to dilate blood vessels and trigger strong blood flow, begins to drop off significantly. When that happens, it doesn't matter how much desire you feel. If blood can't get where it needs to go, the body simply won't respond. You may still feel like the man you used to be in your mind, but your body doesn't follow your lead the way it once did. This change doesn't just affect the physical side of intimacy, it affects your confidence, your connection with your partner, and even your sense of identity. And unfortunately, most men accept this decline as normal aging, never realizing that it can be addressed naturally and effectively. But here's the real danger. Most of the time, this drop in blood flow happens in silence. There are warning signs, yes, but they're easy to miss or ignore. In fact, you may already be experiencing several of them without knowing they're connected to poor circulation. And once these signs show up, it means the problem isn't just starting, it's already taken hold. So before we go any further, I want to help you see what's happening in your own body. Because the earlier you recognize the signs, the easier it is to turn things around. Let's take a closer look at the subtle early warning signals that your blood flow may already be slipping long before things stop working altogether. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of treating men over 60, it's this: the body whispers long before it screams. Most men who walk into my office with circulation issues didn't get there overnight. The signs were there, they just didn't know what to look for. I remember a man named James, 68 years old, a former construction foreman. He came in not because of intimacy issues, but because he was feeling tired all the time. His legs cramped at night, and he noticed he wasn't waking up the same way he used to. He said, "Doc, I still feel like I've got fire in me, but the engine just won't turn over." That stuck with me. What James didn't realize, and what so many men don't, is that these little signs were actually red flags. Cold feet at night, a subtle decrease in morning erections, fatigue that doesn't go away with sleep, trouble staying focused, even things like decreased sensation or needing more stimulation to feel aroused. All of these are signs of compromised blood flow, especially to the pelvic region. You may still be climbing stairs, taking walks, feeling okay overall, but underneath, your circulation may be slowly fading. And since men tend to push through discomfort, brush things off, and avoid talking about private problems, these warning signs often go unnoticed until it's much harder to reverse them. The body's ability to repair and regenerate blood vessels declines with age, but it doesn't vanish. And that's why catching these signs early matters. Because once you start noticing the change, it means the vascular system has already been under strain for months, even years. The longer you ignore the signs, the harder the road back becomes. But the good news is, the body responds incredibly well to the right kind of support, especially at night when repair and restoration are naturally supposed to happen. The key is knowing what's stopping that healing from happening in the first place. There's one mistake I see older men make night after night without ever realizing it's silently killing their circulation while they sleep. It's not about what they're doing wrong during the day, it's what they're forgetting to do before bed. And once you fix it, the changes can be fast and even life-changing. Let me show you what it is. One of the hardest parts of my job is sitting across from a man who's done everything right during the day. He walks, eats fairly well, takes his medications, and still wonders why his intimacy is fading and his energy is dropping. He's doing the work, he's showing up, but something still feels off. What most of these men don't know is that their biggest mistake isn't happening during the day at all. It's happening right before bed. See, as we age, our bodies become less forgiving. We don't bounce back the way we used to, and after 60, the nighttime hours become absolutely critical for recovery, especially for blood flow and vascular health. While we sleep, our systems shift into repair mode, restoring tissues, balancing hormones, and yes, rebuilding the inner lining of our blood vessels. But here's the problem. That process needs fuel. And for most older men, it's missing. The number one mistake I see is going to bed on an empty tank, either from eating too early, skipping the right nutrients, or avoiding all nighttime intake out of fear it might disrupt sleep or digestion. But when you go to sleep without providing your body with the right raw materials, it doesn't have what it needs to heal. Instead of restoring, it starts breaking down. Your body turns to muscle tissue, even vascular lining, pulling from reserves to stay balanced overnight. That means the very systems you need to stay strong, circulation, hormone production, endothelial repair, get weaker while you sleep. And you wake up feeling stiff, sluggish, or disconnected, with no idea that your nighttime habits are working against you. I've seen men completely turn this around simply by changing what they give their body before bed. It doesn't take a complicated diet or expensive supplements or sleeping with a machine strapped to your face. It starts with a small, intentional habit that feeds your blood vessels instead of starving them. There's one specific spoonful of natural ingredients I recommend to nearly every older man I treat because it works, and it works fast. This simple nighttime remedy has helped men restore morning energy, reconnect with their partners, and rebuild their circulation in just days. You don't need much, just a teaspoon and the right combination. Let me show you what's inside that one spoon. I've spent my career looking for complicated answers to men's health problems, lab results, scans, medications, advanced therapies. But some of the most powerful fixes I've seen don't come from a prescription pad. They come from your kitchen. And this one in particular is so simple that most men overlook it completely. There's a natural way to feed your blood vessels before bed, just one spoonful of a specific blend that gives your body the exact tools it needs to restore circulation while you sleep. I've seen it work in men who hadn't felt themselves in years. It's not a miracle, it's just giving your body what it's been missing. The key ingredient? Beetroot powder. It's rich in dietary nitrates, compounds your body converts into nitric oxide, the very molecule responsible for relaxing and opening your blood vessels. When your vessels open, blood flows more easily, especially to the areas where it matters most. But that's only one part of the fix. When you mix beetroot powder with a teaspoon of raw honey and warm water, you create a powerful trifecta. The honey helps regulate blood sugar and support hormone function overnight, while the warm water aids absorption and soothes the digestive system. Together, they work in harmony to deliver nourishment to your vascular system at exactly the time it needs it most. It's amazing how something so small, a single spoonful, can make such a difference. I've had patients report waking up with better circulation, fewer cramps, and yes, even the return of morning erections, sometimes after just a few nights. And it's not just the physical shift, it's the emotional lift that comes with it. When a man starts to feel that spark return, his whole posture changes. He stands taller, speaks with more confidence, and reconnects in ways that go far beyond the bedroom. Now, if you want to get even more out of this bedtime routine, there are a few natural ingredients that can supercharge the effect. Think of them as reinforcements, targeted nutrients that work alongside that nightly spoonful to support your blood vessels, calm your nervous system, and deepen your sleep. Let's take a look at the 3 most effective ones I recommend to my patients and why they make such a difference. When it comes to rebuilding blood flow and restoring intimacy after 60, that one nightly spoonful is a powerful starting point. But sometimes the body needs just a little more support to truly thrive. I've had patients tell me, "Doc, that mix helped, but is there anything else I can do to feel even better?" And the answer is yes. There are 3 natural additions I've recommended time and again to men who want to boost their results, and they work beautifully alongside your nightly fix. The first is magnesium. This quiet mineral often flies under the radar, but it plays a vital role in relaxing your blood vessels, calming your nervous system, and improving sleep quality. Most older men are deficient and don't even know it. Taking a small dose of magnesium before bed not only helps your circulation but also prevents leg cramps and those frustrating nighttime awakenings that rob your body of deep rest. Next is L-arginine, an amino acid your body uses to produce nitric oxide, the same vital compound that beetroot helps stimulate. When you pair L-arginine with dietary nitrates, the effects are often faster and more noticeable. I've seen men regain noticeable energy, warmth in their hands and feet, and a renewed sense of physical response after just a few days of combining the two. And then there's ashwagandha, a calming herb that's been used for thousands of years to ease stress, balance hormones, and improve sleep. At night, your body isn't just resting, it's rebalancing your entire system. A cup of warm ashwagandha tea helps lower cortisol levels, supports testosterone, and prepares your body to restore itself while you sleep. The emotional benefits are just as profound. Less stress, less tension, more presence with your partner, and more peace in your own skin. What I love about these 3 is that they're natural, easy to find, and gentle on the body. They don't override your system, they work with it. And when used consistently with your nightly spoonful, they can help you feel more in control of your health than you have in years. Now that you know what to give your body, let me show you how to put it all together step by step. Because the real transformation comes when you make this a habit. Here's how to build your simple, powerful bedtime routine. So now you know the truth. Your blood flow doesn't fade overnight. It slips away quietly, and most men don't notice until something meaningful is missing. But you also know the power of consistency. And when it comes to restoring circulation, strength, and intimacy after 60, what you do before bed can change everything. Let me walk you through the nightly plan I've used with hundreds of men just like you, men who didn't want pills or promises, just something that worked. Start about 30 to 60 minutes before bed. Mix 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder with a teaspoon of raw honey into a glass of warm water. Stir it slowly, take a breath, and drink it mindfully. Think of this as fuel for your repair system. It's not just a beverage, it's a signal to your body that you're giving it what it needs to restore itself overnight. If you choose, this is also the time to take your magnesium and L-arginine. You don't have to do it all at once, but when taken consistently, these nutrients work in harmony with that nightly drink to open your blood vessels, calm your system, and deepen your recovery while you sleep. If you enjoy tea, brew a small cup of ashwagandha, sip it slowly, and let your body ease into rest. Lower the lights, turn off your screens, and give your body a chance to shift into sleep naturally. You don't need perfection, you just need a rhythm, something you return to each night that reminds your system it's time to heal. Stick with this routine for 7 nights, then watch how your body responds. You may notice more warmth in your hands and feet. You may start waking with stronger energy. You may even begin to feel something you haven't felt in a long time, like yourself again. The truth is, change doesn't have to be dramatic, it just has to be consistent. And when you build a simple, nourishing routine like this, your body remembers what it was capable of all along. Now that you have the full plan, let's bring it all together. Because before you leave this video, I want you to walk away with a complete understanding of how these small steps restore blood flow, protect your intimacy, and rebuild your confidence starting tonight. If you've made it this far, I want to thank you, not just for watching, but for showing up for yourself. Because the truth is, many men over 60 silently accept decline. They believe that fading intimacy, weaker circulation, and low energy are just part of getting older. But you didn't accept that. You looked deeper, and now you know the truth. You've learned how blood flow and intimacy change after 60, not because something's wrong with you, but because your body's repair system needs more care, more intention, and more support than it used to. You've recognized the signs that your circulation may already be slipping, even if you've been doing everything right on the surface. And you've uncovered the biggest mistake most men make at night, going to bed without feeding the very systems that keep them strong, responsive, and connected. But now you also have the solution, a simple nightly fix. Just 1 spoonful that supports nitric oxide, restores blood vessel health, and rebuilds the flow that keeps your vitality alive. And with it, 3 natural add-ons that make the whole system work even better: magnesium, L-arginine, ashwagandha. Gentle, effective tools that bring calm, strength, and recovery back into your nights. And now you have a full plan, a simple nightly routine you can follow without stress or hassle, one that respects where you are in life but refuses to accept less. Because you're not finished yet. Your bond, your closeness, your sense of being a man, they still count. They're still there, and you can revive them. I've watched it happen in men who nearly lost hope. I've seen their eyes light up when they feel that change, when they wake up energized again, when they stop pulling away from their partner, when they finally feel alive in their own skin once more. This isn't about trying to be young again. It's about taking back what you never should have lost. Start tonight, just 1 move, 1 spoonful, 1 decision to stand by the man you still are and always have been.